guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and look, by the time I post this, the Ravens-Bucks games might be over, but look, I'm still going to get my picks in because we still got Sunday's game and Monday's game, and either way, I want to get my feelings about this game out of the way, and I'm hoping the Ravens get a win. Either way, no matter what my pick is, but either way, let's get into these picks. Look, my overall record is 61-47, doing pretty good so far. We want to improve on top of that. Without further ado, let's get into these picks. All right, so for our Thursday night game, we got the Ravens versus the Buccaneers, and look, Tom Brady is clearly showing that he's just playing football to stay away from his home life because what the hell, Tom? Like, you lost to the Panthers. The Panthers are obviously taking. You put up 3 points against the Panthers. Now, with all that being said, I'm expecting Tom Brady to go into this week and probably have the best game of this season so far because that's just how it goes against the Ravens. This is a primetime game. The last Thursday night game we played against the Dolphins was absolute hell. It was a pain to sit through. Granted, do I think the same result will come of that game? No, I'm hoping that the Ravens win, but I don't even know who to pick here because I have it like it's not going to be surprising to me if Tom Brady comes out here and has the game of his life. Now, if he doesn't, well, fantastic. We get to win the game. Hopefully, hopefully we finish. But while the Ravens do have their problems on their end as well, it's like the Bucs have played so bad. You can only think that they're going to come out and play their best ball against the Ravens. That's what they want to do. John Harbaugh is undefeated against the Bucs, though. That is a good record to keep a hold of. I'm going to go with my team here. I kind of want to pick the Bucs just to kind of jinx us, so that way I'm proven wrong. You know what? A pick is worth it. I'm going to go with the Bucs here. I think Tom Brady has a crazy game, and I think, maybe we just don't handle it. Yeah, granted, I'm only saying that just so hopefully I'm jinxing the team and we actually do get this win. If not, then, I'm right about the pick, and I'll be hurting because my heart hurts. But I got the Bucs winning this one, I guess, 34-24. No, that's a bad score. Let's ride into week 8 because a lot of stuff is on the line. Bradley Chubb's job, well, not Bradley Chubb's job, but clearly Bradley Chubb's position on that team is in jeopardy. If they lose, they're probably going to end up trading him, which is great for him at this point because they're completely wasting his time. Nathaniel Hackett, on the other hand, could get fired after this week if they lose to the Jags, which is much needed. Look, either way, Nathaniel Hackett is getting fired. Like, one game is not going to make a difference. I promise you that, because they still have a pretty tough schedule along the way. They haven't shown that they've improved actually at all throughout these weeks. They're actually just getting worse, and the team's just seeming to get a lot more annoyed by Russell Wilson's antics. So I don't think they're getting better in that aspect. A win here doesn't really save them. Now, do I think they get this win? I wanted to pick them and say yes, but the Jags, it's a 9:30 game, so anything could happen. I feel like with all the negative press, you feel like, maybe the Jags will win. I mean, not the Jags. With all the negative press against the Broncos, you think the Broncos would have to go in here and get a dub. But I'm hoping, honestly, for the Broncos' sake, they lose because they don't. Nathaniel Hackett is a terrible coach, and maybe somebody else can light a fire under Russell Wilson's ass and get him to play a lot better than he needs to. But Nathaniel Hackett is not the decision here. So I'm personally going to pick the Jags just so Broncos County can be saved from their nightmare, at least from the first part of their nightmare. If Hackett leaves and they're still that bad, Russ, I don't even know what to say. Subway commercials are pretty low, though. I can't lie to you, bro. You got to do better. Got to do better. So I'm picking the Jaguars to win this one 23-17. Broncos County, that's right. All right, so next up we got the Dolphins versus the Lions. Look, this is a pretty simple pick for me here. As long as not even that. Look, well, actually, no, the Dolphins are 3-0 with Tua. So as long as you have Tua back there with his weapons, Tyreek and Waddle, those three are undeniable combo. They can easily beat the Lions. Look, they're just going to outscore them. Dan Campbell, you're a great coach, man. It's just, it's not your fault you have Jared Goff as a quarterback. There are plenty of quarterbacks to pick from after this season. You'll be fine. But this just ain't your year, man. This ain't going to be your game either. So I got the Dolphins winning this one pretty easily, 30-20. All right, so next up we got the Panthers versus the Falcons. Look, congrats to the Panthers on getting that very impressive win against the Bucs. I cannot take that away from you guys. That was a very impressive win, but the organization knows you can't have too many more of those or this whole tanking situation is just not going to go how you want it. So we got to slow up on that. It's time to play a very competitive team who wants to show that they are getting away from their tanking ways, and they're playing Arthur Smith and those Falcons. So granted, look, Arthur Smith and the Falcons, they're just a very competitive team. They're getting close to getting Cordell Patterson back. They just have very good momentum. Marcus Mariota can do enough to beat that Panthers team. Like I said, the Panthers are tanking. Let's make that very clear. Just because they beat the Bucs does not mean that all of a sudden they're going to try to make a playoff push. There's nothing to do there. There's no playoffs to push for. They are tanking. They're definitely going to lose this week too. An Arthur Smith team who, for some odd reason, doesn't need Kyle Pitts to win. or lose. They just don't use him at all. It's a waste of talent, Arthur. You guys can really trade him if you need to. Just come on. Like for fantasy purposes, guys. Why are we just wasting Kyle Pitts' time? But I digress. Maybe a better quarterback can be drafted for you guys, and maybe he can involve Kyle Pitts next year. I don't know, but either way, I got the Falcons winning this one 28-24. All right, so next up we got the Cardinals versus the Vikings. Look, I know we haven't had too many high-scoring affairs this season, but look, I'm hoping that this is one of those rare high-scoring affairs here because this has an opportunity to be a very good game, man. So you got two very good offenses going up against each other. Now that the Cardinals have D-Hop back, I consider them a good offense because they're going to be able to, get down the field a lot easier than they were without him. So these are two pretty good offenses going against each other. You got D-Hop versus Justin Jefferson. At the end of the day, though, I am going to pick the Vikings just because I just think, they have a lot more on that defensive end to end up getting stops, while the Cardinals do impress in some ways on the defensive end. Not really any, but they have some impressive pieces on the defensive end. But look, the Vikings are just too high-powered. I think Kevin O'Connell's offense is just getting a lot better throughout the weeks, and I think Cliff Kingsbury still has some kinks to work out on his end. So I got the Vikings winning this one 34. No. The Vikings are winning this one 37-34. There you go. All right, so next up we got the Bears and the Cowboys. Look, the Bears won their first game ever in Foxborough. Goes to show anything can happen on Monday Night Football, but this is Sunday afternoon. So, no, this is back to regular scheduled football time, and hey, Bears, you're going to get your ass whooped here. You're facing a pass rush that I know you guys are not ready for. Dak Prescott and the Cowboys are just going to run the ball all over you with Zeke, and probably Tony Pollard's going to kill you guys in the screen game and just running up the gut. Look, Cowboys just got too much for you guys to handle on that defensive end, period. The pass rush, Justin Fields is not going to have a good day at Jerry World. It's going to be pretty rough for him. And I got the Cowboys winning this one 28-20. All right, so next up we got the Raiders and Saints. Another game that could possibly end up being a very high-scoring affair due to the fact that these defenses just don't know how to stop anybody after a while. But look, Josh Jacobs I do have to apologize to because he is having an absolutely incredible season. Like I was telling a lot of people fantasy-wise to stay away from that boy. He is no hope. He's no use to you on your roster. Like the last 4 weeks, he's definitely punched me in the face and just shut me up completely because that boy has been balling crazy. Got to apologize to him. Look, when it comes to this game, Jameis Winston more than likely will play on Sunday. The way I see this thing playing out, though, is just due to the fact that Josh Jacobs' incredible hot streak is just, the reason Raiders are able to run all over the place. I think that's going to continue here. And they have Devontae Adams, so he's going to kill Marshawn Lattimore. Marshawn Lattimore is he's just liable to get baked at any point, man. That's just who he is. And I just, the Saints just don't have enough to close out games. Essentially what I mean by close out, enough to close out, they don't have a quarterback. Neither of their quarterback choices, Winston or Dalton, are clutch enough to end up doing game-winning drives. They're just going to make boneheaded mistakes, mess up. That's just what's holding the Saints back at the moment, but it is going to be a pretty entertaining game. But I do have the Raiders pulling this one out 27-24. All right, next up we got the Steelers versus the Eagles, and I'm smiling so much because it's getting very fun to see the Steelers lose on a weekly basis. It's getting really, really nice to get used to that kind of trend. I don't know if I'm not going to call it quits on the whole 500 record for Tomlin just yet because anything can happen. Crazier things have happened, maybe. But look, as far as I'm concerned, that 500 record is in jeopardy, and it's definitely just going to get worse this week because you're getting killed, Mike. These guys just got Robert Quinn, and honestly, I don't know why everybody wants to keep trading everybody to the Eagles, but this team is too juggernauted up. It's too bossed up, too mobbed up. They have too much on the offense and defensive end for you guys to handle. Kenny Pickett is going to struggle. Mason Rudolph, I don't care who you put out there. Look, leave Pickett out there because Rudolph is not going to do much better. I don't know why people are acting like that's the case. Rudolph has already played. You've seen what he can do. Leave the rookie in. Let him make his mistakes. See what you're working with and see, honestly, man, if you lose too badly, see if you can just tank for a quarterback. That'd be nice. Is that record that much to you that you just don't want to try to get a quarterback next year? Look, Mike, there's a lot of them. Trust me, there is a lot of them. You can try to just tank for one. Nobody will blame you. Because if Pickett and Rudolph ain't nobody going to look at you funny, man. Look, nobody's going to blame you. But look, either way, the Steelers are getting killed this week. It doesn't even matter. 34-17. They're getting killed. It's as simple as that. All right, so next up we got the Patriots and Jets. And look, as much of a hot streak as the Jets have been on, and as proud as I am of Robert Saleh for doing his thing with the Jets so far this season, I think, their little hot streak is going to come to an end this week because they did lose Breece Hall to an ACL tear. And while Michael Carter is a good, decent running back, he's not Breece Hall. Breece Hall was the star of that run game. He was the monster that everybody thought he was going to be, and unfortunately, we just don't get to see that for the rest of the season. Hopefully, a speedy recovery to you, Breece Hall, coming back next season. But look, I think Belichick is going to look. I thought Belichick was going to make Fields beat them with his arm, but I'm not. I'm going to be real with you. I didn't even watch that game. I just saw what the final result was, and I saw that Mac Jones got pulled. I didn't really want to watch Monday Night Football. Can't lie to you, so I can't report much from that game itself, but I thought that Bill Belichick's plan was going to have Justin Fields beat him with his arm. Maybe he ended up doing that. I don't know. But this week, look, you got to make Zach Wilson beat you with your arm because it's just not that can't win them football games because Zach Wilson just doesn't have it. Zach Wilson is not it, man. Like, granted, they might deem him as a great game manager right now, but no, that's not going to last. I just don't think Zach Wilson's their guy. Belichick needs to prove that this week, and I do think Mac Jones has a big week, man. He has something to prove. Well, granted, like I said, that Jets defense is amazing. This is going to be a very low-scoring, gritty affair right here, man. So I think the Patriots end up scraping this one out 24-21. All right, so next up we got the Titans and the Texans. And look, the Titans have been pretty impressive. I cannot lie to you. As long as Vrabel and Henry are together, those two are a dynamic duo, and they can pull out some wins. And they will pull out another win this week. Look, like my Texans theory is long overdue. If you watch my previous videos, you already know I believe they're tanking. Or, like I said, it's just a Davis Mills experiment at the moment. They're trying to figure out if this is the guy or not, but they're putting themselves in the position to draft a quarterback if they need to. If not, they'll just draft some other talented skill position. The Texans are doing very smart things right now. They're going to continue to do very smart things. Just lose this game. I mean, do you think the Texans are going to win? Be honest with yourselves. No, the Titans are pretty good. The Titans defense is picking it up pretty well. And they played very well last week. And then you have, like I said, Derrick Henry, Mike Vrabel. As long as those two are on the same side, there's not much you can do to beat them Texans. So I got the Titans winning this one 28-23. See, you keep it competitive, but you're not going to win. I'm on to your strategy. I know what's going on. All right, so next up we got the Giants and the Seahawks. And look, I thought the Giants were going to get pulled off their high horse, but I guess not. They're going to continue to ride it. And honestly, I'm going to ride with them this week. I've picked them to win before, so it's nothing surprising. They play the Seahawks this week. And while the Seahawks did get an impressive win against a very beat-up Chargers team, it was impressive just because I didn't think they were going to win. I thought even though they were beat up, Justin Herbert would be able to pull it out. But no, they weren't. But this Seahawks team does give up a lot of points. This Giants team is very mean on that defensive end, and I just think the Giants got enough grit. Danny Dimes got enough swag to get this job done. So I think the Giants end up winning this one, go 7-1. Well, they're going to end up winning this one. They're going to go 7-1. The final score will be 27-20. All right, so we got the Commanders and Colts. And look, Sam Ehlinger is getting his first start no matter if Matt Ryan was injured or not. Either way, they were going to bench him. And that sucks to be you, Matt. But look, is the rookie going to go into, they're at home, so is the rookie going to be able to go into Lucas Oil on Sunday and pull out a win? I think he does, because one, they have no film on the kid, so I know the Skins don't really know what this kid is capable of, and their defensive backs ain't the best, so their passing offense is pretty ass, and look, Sam Ehlinger has enough talent on that offensive end as far as Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, Paris Campbell. He has enough on that side to get it done. Like I said, rookies, there's just no film on the kid, so it could be like a Bailey Zapp situation where you don't know what this kid's going to do, and he ends up surprising you. And honestly, I'm not going to pick the Commanders because fuck the Commanders. I'm going to pick the rookie to get his first win this week, and I got the Colts winning this one 29-26. All right, so next up we got the 49ers and Rams. And look, I know that these two teams have already played each other, and normally when they already play once, it's very hard to beat a team again, but the 49ers have gotten their asses kicked these last 2 weeks, or it's just not looking good for them at all, and it's just time to regroup, revamp. You got your defense coming back a little bit more. You got a whole week to prepare with your new weapon, Christian McCaffrey, and you guys need to figure out something because you guys need to beat the Rams because I promise you, I don't care how long you give the Rams. I don't think that offense is getting any better until either Odell comes back or Van Jefferson. I don't even think I think Odell might help them maybe if he stays healthy, which I'm praying just happens at this point. But look, the Rams just don't impress me at all on that offensive end. They are Cooper Kupp dependent. Matthew Stafford just looks like ass. I don't care what Allen Robinson does. You really got to prove to me at least 3 weeks in a row that you are going to be a consistent piece in that offense. So as far as I'm concerned, the Niners still got it all to get it done on their end, and I think they do get it done, 30-23. All right, and for our Sunday night game, we got the Bills versus the Packers. And look, Aaron, I don't care how confident you walk up to that podium and say, yeah, they can all doubt us. They can say this, that, and third. We're going to go in and thinking we're going to win. No. You can think you're going to go in here and make an upset, bro, but you're not. It's not going to happen. Your offense just isn't it. I don't know. Like, your guys just, the receivers, they just ain't it, man. Like, there's not one guy on that. There's not one guy on that receiving core that tries to even be him or wants to be just a weapon for you in general, man. It's just not your year. That offense is Aaron Jones dependent at this point, man. It's like, if it's not Aaron Jones doing the damage, ain't nobody doing any damage. And the Bills know that. They're just too dogged up on both ends. You got Gabe Davis, Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, for crying out loud, the NFL's MVP as far as I'm concerned. And they're just going to kick your ass, man. It's going to get bad for you. 34-20. It's not going to be pretty. It sucks. It sucks that I have to watch Aaron Rodgers go through this. But, hey, hopefully they help you next year, bro. I don't know. All right, and for our Monday night game, we got the Browns versus the Bengals. And, look, it has been announced that Jamar Chase will be out for about 4 to 6 weeks with a hip injury. How that happened, it probably happened in practice. I don't know the details, but that sucks for fantasy purposes. Oh, God, this has just been a weird year for fantasy, guys. It's been really crazy. But anyway, look, do the Bengals fall off because Jamar's out? Not necessarily. Look, T. Higgins, his value skyrockets. Tyler Boyd is still a very good receiver. Joe Mixon is still a very good running back. It's just a matter of, are they going to be able to keep it together while Jamar Chase is out? They play the Browns, and while, of course, Nick Chubb is a stud, you got Jacoby Brissett, who just, like I said, is proving week to week that he's just not the starter. He's not going to be able to get it done. I'm going to go with the Bengals here simply because I think people think just because Jamar Chase is out that means this offense is going to struggle. They're not going to be able to find their groove, or, Joe Burrow's not going to be able to get things done. No, I still think Joe Burrow's that guy. I think Jacoby Brissett is just simply not. They desperately need D-Watt to come back, and they only got 3 more weeks until his return, so I just think it's going to be it's not going to be rough. It's a Monday night game. It's going to be pretty close, but I got the Bengals pulling this one out 28-24. All right, guys, and those are my picks for Week 8. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What are your upsets of the week? What's your biggest blowout of the week? It's probably all the same. It's the Packers and Bills. I think everybody has the Bills easily blowing these guys out. Or it could be Steelers-Eagles. Either way, those are going to be blowout games. But look, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.